G'day everybody, it's Ian here again from cold Melbourne, and I want to share with you one of my latest thing that I've put together. It is a kombucha heater. I've called it the kombucha heater, as you can see here. For those making kombucha in the winter, what it is it's a thermostat that controls with a heat source. That is the heat source. Very friendly. I'll show you how it works later on. And of course you got your temperature. That's the probe that's picking up the temperature of wherever you put this, and in there it's all the electronics that you can set to control the parameter to maintain a constant temperature. And of course you'll put into even if it's a polystyrene box or a old cupboard that you've insulated, or the more you insulate it the better the temperature keeps anyway. So even just a normal fruit polystyrene box will do, with the lids that you can pick up from the market free of charge. So without further ado, let me get into the video and I'll show you what it's all about. The rundown on the interface and the wires coming in and going out. This is the cable that's running in on the left hand side. So this goes to the power point where you plug in and come back down here. The second wire on the right hand side is the cable that carries the power to your heating element, which is a carbon heating film. Alright, very light, easy to transport, and also with the power coming out to power this heating film is the temperature sensor probe as well. Okay. Firstly, I'm going to have a drink of my guava kombucha. Ever so good. It's on the vinegary side of things. I do like my things a bit sour. Or quite sour, some might think. Now, this is a project I've been working on and we just finished. And it is a customized case, and then which is CNC'd. The electronics inside fits nicely on the face panel. I've called it the kombucha heater. Settings, enter. Celsius, up, down when you're changing settings. And the heat on means there is power to the heating element. So this is the controller. We'll call this the controller. And this is something that we've designed and for the last month. And here it is. All the parts came and we've assembled the first unit. And the heating element is the second part of this. So with the controller, it's one thing. The heating element. Now with the heating element, you can use ceramic heating element. You can use, which is a light globe type thing, and that thing is, in my honest opinion, it's dangerous. Number one, you need to mount it. All right, you need to do electrical connections. You need to mount it with a ceramic light bulb holder, which means it doesn't get hot, because right up at the light bulb, I would say it will be 80, 90, 100 degrees, and you touch your hand on it, and you get burnt, guaranteed. Get a nice burnt skin coming off. But and with that as well is if you installing it in an area where you're touching other stuff. For example, if you're putting it into a polystyrene box with a ceramic heat lamp, you will not be able to. But with our setup, this thing is a heat mat. At the moment, the heat is on. The heat has been on for the last 5 minutes or so since I've plugged it in, and because the temperature probe is right here, it's not getting up to the temperature. This thing is always on. I've set it at 24 degrees. All right. At the moment, it's 17.4 at the tip of this probe. 17.4 ambient temperature, and this has been on for 5, 6, maybe even longer. But look at this. That's my hand on it. Underneath it, it heats on both sides. Okay, and it's not burning me. The initial temperature when you touch it, it's a nice warm feeling, but sooner on you will sort of, the heat will get absorbed into your hand. And this side, on the right hand side now, it's hot, it's warm, hot, warm. I would say very, very warm. Yeah, not hot, definitely not burning you. Even if a baby touches it, it's not going to burn him or her. But it is a 50 watt, so this is a 50 watt. If you get a 50 watt ceramic globe, because it's only that small and that high, a 50 watt globe, maybe twice the size of this, you know, with a little globe, maybe 3 times the size of this, and that thing has so much heat that if you just accidentally touch it, it'll burn you real good. But with this, because it's spread out over such a large area, it does it very safely. So let's go ahead and test it. So as you can see, my temperature is 17 degrees ambient. I've set it to 24 degrees. And how sensitive is this? This is super sensitive, really good. It actually shows real life, no, not real life, in real time. See this? See that? So let me put it on here. Even if I hold it, but anyway, see? 24 degrees is reached and the heater has turned off. The light is off. But if I put it down here, maybe under my kombucha, hopefully it cools down pretty quickly. Can you see how it responds straight away to the temperature change? Watch this. The heat light comes on. Heat on. And if I put it in my hand again, increasing. 24. Anyway, thanks for watching, and let us know if this is of interest, because I plan to basically, we already had the design all done, and we can actually produce it and ship it quite easily all around the world. And if you're interested, I can put a price up if admin don't mind. But I think this is something that is very, very useful for people who are wanting to make kombucha in the winter time. And with this, generally, you can put it underneath. You can put your kombucha underneath here if you want to as well. Or what I do in my cupboard is I let it sit vertically like this, loose, even between the jars. It doesn't have to be on top. It can be on top, but I keep it just loose, vertical, like this, weaving in between all my jars. And my temperature probe is put midway down in the cupboard. Stick it down somewhere in your cupboard space, and once the temperature, the air temperature gets to the desired, you maintain as long as you keep this on. And you can even use, it's small enough to fit into your polystyrene fruit box, like I said. Also, I just want to show you how versatile this heat mat is. If you are tight for space, wherever you want to put it in a small polystyrene box, guess what? Feel free to roll this thing up. You can roll it up and tape it up. Get a bit of gaffer tape or whatever tape, masking tape, whatever tape, sticky tape. My sticky tape leaves a yucky residue. Don't use that. And then you can even use this as a heating. As long as it doesn't matter how you do it, just don't fold it and kink it. That's the thing. Then you'll damage it. Don't kink it. Keep it all curled and round. That's a very small footprint right there. Tape it up. Get a bit of string, tie it up. As you know, this ain't gonna burn nothing. This ain't gonna burn anything. So keep it there, put it into a corner of your box. That's your heating element right there, nice and safe. Another feature I forgot to say is you can turn it on by this switch as well. So when you don't actually need to use it, instead of going to the power point and having to physically unplug it, it could be hard to get, you can actually just press enter, hold it down, it turns off. So and when I say the fruit box, it's similar to this kind of a foam material but in white, you know? Very, very easy, and it's generally free of charge from your local markets. Get one of those, pass the temperature probe and the heating mat inside, put your jars, put your bottles, even for your F2, your second ferment, put it in there, maintain the temperature. You know, it makes a lot of difference, especially when we're this cold in Melbourne. Anyway, let us know your feedback, and yeah, we'll talk. Thank you.